Good evening. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on, once said by Franklin D. Roosevelt. Welcome to BMC News Live, presented by Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers English News. Myself, Sheikha Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Government Hospitals Chief received batch of SMC doctors. Her Highness Sheikha bint Hamad Al Khalifa Pediatric Cardiology and Surgery Unit opened. Bahrain Science Center for SDGs won Catalyst 2030 award. Muscat ranked third most beautiful city in the world. Future hospital could be built by robots using 3D printing in Qatar.
Today's news in detail. BTEA sponsored Global Youth Tourism Summit participation. Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority BTEA has announced that it is sponsoring 3 Bahrainis to participate in the first Global Youth Tourism Summit (GYTS). The summit is organized by the World Tourism Organization UNWTO and is due to take place in Sorrento, Italy from June to July 3. The meetings brings together youth from around the world to discuss visions and hopes for the tourism sector. The BTEA said that the candidates Sarah Janahi, Zainab Ibrahim and Saud Shariza were chosen to represent the Kingdom of Bahrain after a rigorous selection process that took into account several factors including activities and projects related to the national tourism sector. cpisp initiated its candidacy program. The Crown Prince International Scholarship Program (CPISP) has started its candidacy program, which is the final step in the 2023 scholarship selection process. The CPISP held an orientation at the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance (BIBF) headquarters to brief the scholarship candidates from both public and private schools on the training they will receive during the program. CPISP Director Dr. Cynthia Jesling commended His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister's vision to upskill young Bahrainis and congratulated the candidates for being shortlisted. During the candidacy program, students will complete a number of courses with a focus on critical thinking and academic writing, leadership and communications. Students will also undergo a career and personality aptitude test, prepare for standardized tests and complete a level 3 certificate in team leading granted by the UK-based Chartered Management Institute (CMI). Government Hospitals Chief received batch of SMC doctors. Government Hospitals Chief Executive Officer Dr. Ahmed Mahmoud Al Ansari received a new batch of Salmania Medical Complex SMC's doctor, who will study for their fellowship certificate in different medical subspecialists. The training program has so far benefited 49 physicians in different medical specialties in 1 year. The training of government hospitals doctor is in line with the vision and directives of His Royal Highness the Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, supporting plans aimed to promote investment in human resources and tap into young talents towards achieving sustainable development goals. Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers Bahrain's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
ILA with yoga enthusiasts from the Kingdom of Bahrain celebrated the 8th International Day of Yoga. The new element of this year is the Global Yoga Ring, celebrated with the support of the Indian Embassy, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Kingdom of Bahrain Sports, Kingdom of Bahrain and Ministry of Health, Kingdom of Bahrain on 21st June 2022, Isa Sports City Hall. Ms. Neelanjana Bharadwaj, Senior Yoga Coach, the Beauty and Health Subcom member, ILA planned 8 days step-by-step guide for online yoga sessions and also conducted a yoga challenge for ILA members. ILA's winner of the 8th day yoga challenge is Ms. Yekta Vikas Sethi and the runner-up is Ms. Sushmita Vishwakoti. Winners were honored with prizes by the ILA patron Mrs. Monica Srivatsava at the Isa Town Stadium on the International Day of Yoga event by the Indian Embassy. Congratulations to all the participants of the 8-day Yoga Challenge. The core purpose of IDY 2022 is to create awareness regarding the health benefits of yoga for the people, and ILA is living up to it every year. Bahrain welcomed UNGA's adoption of International Day of Women in Diplomacy. The Kingdom of Bahrain has welcomed the UN General Assembly's adoption of the International Day of Women in Diplomacy on the 24th of June each year in recognition of women's vital role in strengthening international cooperation to consolidate security and peace and support sustainable development at the international level. Foreign Minister Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani extended congratulations to Bahraini female diplomats, hailed the support of His Majesty King Hamad and His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He also lauded the follow-up of the Supreme Council for Women SCW headed by Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, wife of His Majesty the King Hamad, which contributed to the advancement of women and their active participation in the diplomatic and decision-making field in line with the National Plan for the Advancement of Bahraini Women 2013 to 2022 and the 2030 Bahraini Economic Vision. Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Hamad Al Khalifa Pediatric Cardiology and Surgery Unit opened. Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Hamad Al Khalifa Pediatric Cardiology and Surgery Unit has been opened at the Mohammed bin Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa Specialist Cardiac Center in Awali. Her Highness Sheikha Tajiba bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and Her Highness Sheikha Maryam bint Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa inaugurated the new medical facility. The opening ceremony took place in the presence of Her Highness Sheikha Zain bint Khalid Al Khalifa, Chairperson of the Board of Trustees Al Mubara Al Khalifa Foundation, founder of the Board of Directors of MKFE Services. The event was also attended by and Southern Governor His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali Al Khalifa, Major General Dr. Fawd Abdul Qadir Said, Deputy Director of the Mohammed bin Salman Al Khalifa Specialist Cardiac Center, and Dr. Rezan Humud Al Badran, Advisor of Mohammed bin Salman Al Khalifa Specialist Cardiac Center. Now we shall go for a short commercial break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. Mr. Suresh Rajamanikam, a resident of Bahrain from Mailadurai, Tamil Nadu, passed away due to illness recently in Bahrain. With the approval from Mrs. Rasati, mother of the deceased, the final rites and rituals will be performed in Bahrain. While processing clearance, it was noticed that the deceased's passport has expired in 2014 itself, and he has been without residence permit in the country. To complete the burial process, the Indian Embassy has been supporting and approvals under process. The Rajani Fans Association team in Bahrain and in India has been working on this cause and ensuring every legal formality is completed in both countries. The ardent die-hard fans of superstar Rajinikanth, Mr. Ramesh Mayavarathan and Mr. Muruganandam is coordinating with the family in India and supporting them all financially and morally. Mr. Suresh Khalidi, Secretary, Rajani Fans Association in Bahrain, is coordinating along with Mr. Jason to complete the process in Bahrain. The family of the deceased thanked everyone involved in this process. Al Hilal Healthcare Group organized a medical camp for the ICF Group on 24 June 2022 at Al Hilal Salmabad Auditorium. The camp, accompanied with a health talk by Dr. Prithvi Raj. Many comprehensive checkup coupons were distributed in the event. More than 170 participants were there in the event. Bahrain's Science Center for SDGs won Catalyst 2030 award. The Bahrain Scientific Center for Sustainable Development Goals (BSC) for SDGs at the Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs has won the Catalyst 2030 award for Systematic Change 2022. The BSC's Gaia initiative won the award in the category of governments that support social entrepreneurship as a means to achieve SDGs. Youth and Sports Affairs Ministries and Secretary Sarah Ishkam received the award during the online ceremony held by the Catalyst 2030. Fire broke out in Labor Accommodation in Sutra. Firefighters tackled a fire today that broke out in Labor Accommodation in Sutra. No injuries were reported, confirmed by the Interior Ministry. Government service agencies shows effective performance. National Complaint System Tawasul and Building Permit System Benayat achieved positive performance indicators during the second quarter of this year, said Information and E-Government Authority Chief Executive Muhammad Ali Al-Qad. This reflects government agencies' effective communication with users by responding to their inquiries and comments while providing quality e-services efficiently, he said. Al Fateh Highway project work on track. Work on the strategic Al Fateh Highway development is on track with 27% of the massive infrastructure work project already have been completed. Works Minister Ibrahim Al-Khawaj inspected the progress of work on the project, which is expected to be completed in 2024. New drive to raise awareness of drug abuse dangers. Bahrain will join the international community in celebrating the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, which is observed worldwide on June 26 under the theme Share Drug Facts, Save Lives. The celebration will feature many educational and awareness-raising activities, including lectures and functions aimed at raising youth awareness of the dangers of this scourge within the framework of the family, educational and social institutions. Bahrain's China links growing. Chinese Ambassador Anwar Habibullah has commended the growing relations between Bahrain and China, which he said are witnessing continuous development in light of coordination between His Majesty King Hamad and Chinese President Xi Jinping. In an interview with our sister paper, he described Bahrain as a key partner of China in the Gulf, stressing that cooperation between the two countries regained momentum last year despite the pandemic, as trade exchange between the two countries rose to $2. Saudi food delivery app Jahez to now operate in Bahrain. Saudi food delivery platform Jahez will start commercial operations at its Bahraini unit on June 26, which is today, in a browsing filing. The company started trial operations in Bahrain almost a month earlier as part of its expansion strategy to enhance Jahid's footprint in the Gulf Cooperation Council, formerly known as Jahid's International Co. for Information Systems Technology. The firm noted that the financial impact of this move is expected to reflect on the current quarter's results. Saudi Embassy updated travel procedures to Thailand. The Saudi Embassy in Bangkok has announced that it has updated the travelling procedures to Thailand for citizens. The embassy revealed the necessary requirements for Saudis to enter Thailand starting from July 2022, noting that the entry conditions for vaccinated travellers as mentioned. Dubai felt tremors after 6.0 magnitude earthquake hits Iran. People in Dubai reported feeling earthquake tremors on Saturday morning after a quake shook southern Iran. On one resident downtown Dubai said that their bookshelves began to shake just after 7:30 a.m. while another said furniture started to move. The National Center of Meteorology confirmed a 6.0 magnitude earthquake was recorded in southern Iran at 7:37 a.m. UAE time. In a statement carried by state news agency, the NCM said that the quake was slightly felt by residents but without effect in the UAE. Muscat ranked third beautiful city in the world. The capital of the Sultanate of Oman, Muscat, is the third most beautiful city in the world according to the famous House Beautiful website. The city of Muscat is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and the famous House Beautiful website ranked it the third most beautiful city ahead of Budapest, Paris, Edinburgh and other cities in the world. The U-City Guides platform, the House Beautiful platform and other sites specialized in tourism and travel mention several cities that ranked Muscat in third place after Venice in Italy and Lisbon in Portugal. Future hospital could be built by robots using 3D printing in Qatar. With its low-rise profile, attractive courtyard gardens and modular construction, the proposal Al Dayan Health District in Qatar offers a stark contrast to hospitals that many residents in the Gulf or other parts of the world will be familiar with. The plan for the 1.3 million square meter site near Doha is ambitious, but designers suggest it could become a regional standard in the future. There are no tower blocks, medicinal plants are grown on site, and the facility can generate its own energy as well as deal with its own waste, and it will be built by robots using 3D printing. Commissioned by Hamad Medical Corporation HMC, a Qatari hospital operator, the master plan for Al Dayan Health District, unveiled in late 2021, is the work of Dutch architectural practice OMA and British engineering company Bureau Happold. In its brief to the architects, HMC said its existing infrastructure lacked space, did not have the capacity for current and future demand, and was a major barrier to clinical service transformation. The Qatari hospital is investigated as having 1,400 beds with patients staying on the first floor, while the ground floor is used for consultation rooms and other services. Machines located underground, meanwhile, are involved in keeping the hospital running. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shina Sultana. Good night.